My husband at the time had to leave the country, and he was away for a year and a half until he came back. Then he had to do some prison time. So I had to put my big panties on and build my life from scratch. Inside of me, I always had the thrill and the ambition to have my own business. I believe that anything you put your mind, yourself to, you can do it. I have a private zoo in Miami, Florida, Zoological Wildlife Foundation. We've been in business for 25 years. We're known as a staple in Florida, where if you cannot go to Africa or the Amazon, it's right here in South Florida. I was able to bring women into this job, into this industry. They love what they do. They have the same willpower as men do. I am Maria Tabraue. I am a woman in power because I help women build their life from broken to struggles to the best version of themselves.
Maria Tabraue, Women in Power.
I am Maria Tabraue. I have a private zoo in Miami, Florida, Zoological Wildlife Foundation. We've been in business for 25 years. We're known as a staple in Florida. I am also a divorce and life coach. I've written books. So far, I have 2 books. And I also have a magazine called Today Empower Magazine. And the idea is to empower women every day through my experiences and to empower them to be the best version of themselves.
Maria Tabraue's story began in a tiny home in Cuba, where the lessons from her father would shape the woman she was destined to become.
It was a tiny home, but there was a lot of love in between my family, my father, my mother, my brother, and the smell of coffee in the mornings. I mean, I was little, I was only 4 years old. My father is my mentor. My father is a strong-willed person, and he always realized that even though I was a woman, he raised me with a mentality of being in power, thinking like a man, believing in yourself, trusting in yourself. And when you fail, you get up and you try again. So seeing that and the way he raised me, that was the push that instilled in me that is the person that I am today. Well, I mean, he came from Cuba with nothing. He had to start from scratch. So coming and showing us that you got to stay in school. He bought me English books to learn. And he also took me to night classes to learn secretarial because yes, you have to be professional, you have to be a businesswoman, and you have to conquer the world if you want to be successful. Imagine the only thing I knew was my heritage in Cuba. So leaving that at a young age, having to pass through Spain, which I loved it, and kind of refused to come to America. And then landing in Miami was like a culture shock for me. So it was like starting all over again, learning the language, learning the everyday to-day life. And it was a struggle, like I said, for me. But I mean, I adapt quickly and I started learning the English language. I mean, coming from a parent that's very strict, very set in his ways, he just thought that it was about being with family, going to school, no social friends, just focusing on what I needed to focus. So that was a little struggle for me. It was a little bit chaotic with family, speaking all at the same time, all their cousins being there. And basically those were my closest friends at the time.
Maria's path into the professional world started with a tumultuous marriage, forcing her to build a life from scratch.
In high school one day as I was leaving to get the public bus, I saw this red Corvette coming flying in, and turned out to be, later on in life, my husband. I would say a roller coaster ride. Why? Because it had its ups and downs, but it's an experience that I wouldn't change it for the world. If I were to do it, if I were you to ask me if I were to do it all over again, I would say yes. We married. I mean, we were young, we were in love, and we were happy. Life was fine. Everything was the perfect picture that I had always wanted. Because like I said, I'm a dreamer. So there I have this perfect home, this perfect marriage, this perfect family that I wanted to have. I get pregnant, my first child, and I was going through a lot of turmoil in my marriage at the same time. He was Hispanic, Cuban, and he liked women. So apparently, and he had a double life at the time, a life that I wasn't aware of for a while there. I gave birth at an earlier age. And when she was born, it was a struggle because she had a septal defect of the heart, like a heart murmur, and she was premature. So I'm here, a mom at 18 years old, very young, unexperienced. And I'm already going through a difficult time with my husband, with his double life, and with being a womanizer. So it was hard, but like I believe in love, and like we women sometimes make mistakes. I kept going in that marriage. Then I got pregnant again, and there I go again. My pregnancies don't last 9 months. After 6 months, I had to be bedridden, maybe due to stress, anxiety. I was bedridden for the last 3 months, and I didn't make it to the 9 months. I only made it to the first week of my 8. I was driving to the doctor with my daughter, and all of a sudden, a car hit me. And then I was stuck in between 2 cars. So there they took me to the hospital, and I gave birth. My husband at the time had to leave the country, and he was away for 1.5 years until he came back. Then he had to do some prison time for 8 years. So I had to put my big panties on and build my life from scratch. Like I had to start all over again. I had to go out to work. I had to make a name for myself. I had to prove myself that I can do it. And I knew that I always can do it. But at the time I was already divorced. I would take my kids to see his parents, see the father. But I already knew that I had an exit plan. I already knew that what I needed to do, how to do it. And I saw my long-term goal. And I had a mission and a vision. I kept going to school. I kept working. I kept trying hard, and I finally moved to Broward, built my own home, with my parents with me, continued going to school, and finally I went to Baxter University, and Baxter saw my potential, and then I was transferred to human resources, and they decided that they were going to pay my schooling. So I was able to go to Nova, and I became a professional management. I got my degree, and I also got a degree from FIU, from law, from becoming a legal assistant. So I didn't become a lawyer, but at least I had some legal background. So that's what has helped me to build the businesses, be able to run an operation, any kind of operations in a business.
A chance meeting would lead to a new partnership, a shared ambition, and the wild beginnings of the Zoological Wildlife Foundation.
I met my partner actually through a good friend of mine, which was his younger brother, in a jewelry store that I always used to go and I used to love to buy jewelry from. I met him one day, and I had met him before because he was into exotic animals. And it was funny because I think that people come to your life for a reason, because it already set the stage for me to meet him again 10 years later.
Hello, I'm Mario, co-founder of Zoological Wildlife Foundation together with Maria Tabraue. It has been 25 years of shared work in a project that began with a passion for animals and over time evolved into what it is today, a recognized zoological institution with international reach. What started in a simple way gradually attracted the interest of people who wanted to experience a closer connection with the animals. That growing demand opened the path to consolidating the Zoological Wildlife Foundation and giving it the scope that it has today. One of the most surprising and rewarding aspects was discovering that more than 60 and even 70% of our visitors came from outside the United States. We have faced challenges, learning valuable lessons, and celebrated great achievements. And in all of the process, Maria showed strong leadership, consistency, and a clear vision that was decisive in positioning the zoo on an international stage.
And we met, and there was instant attraction. Inside of me, I always had the thrill and the ambition to have my own business. And he also had the ambition and thrill because he had business before. So we started dating, we started going out, and he says, you know what, I'm gonna get my license again and get my exotic wildlife licenses again because I'm grandfathering. And I said, well, I'll help you in that career. I'll help you. I'm going to school, I'm working, but I can help you at nights. So that's how it started. Through his friends, through Mario's friends, they gave him Gypsy, which was a leopard. We acquired a gibbon, Ying, and we acquired Panchito, which is a capuchin monkey, a black and white capuchin. And those were our 3 ambassadors that took her to the next level of her life.
Hello, I am Roxana Flores, Director of Marketing and Social Media for Maria Tabraue. We have been working together for over a year now, and I am very happy with the great team we have formed. Maria is a disciplined, organized, and focused person, and I have truly learned a lot from her. I can confidently say that I bet on and believe in this project as much as she does because I know her methodology, I know her vision, and I know it's a sure bet for all the women in the world.
At the time I sold my home, we were looking for acreage, and we found a beautiful home in the outskirts of Miami, which is where we have a private zoo today. I saw this beautiful home that I fell in love with the property. It was abandoned for almost 6 years, and we started the project. We have a home that we have to remodel. We have a zoo that we have to build. I started mapping out and drawing the vision that I had. I was not content with just studying reptiles. And I told one day to my son and to him, I said, I'm gonna build a zoo or a park that if you cannot go to the Amazon or Africa, it's right here in South Florida. And the answer they gave me was, what are you smoking? And I said, no, I show you what I'm capable of. So here I started planning, mapping out, designing the whole place. And this is how Zoological Wildlife Foundation, known as EWF, started. And we started with 3-4 animals. And then in 2013, after trials and tribulations, we opened, I built my space. And then I said, well, now we're growing and now we need people, but we can't afford those people. So what are we gonna do? And I said, something clicked. I said, you know what? Social media. I'm gonna build my space and I'm gonna start putting our pictures out there and showing what we do. And I put the song, Welcome to the Jungle. I started acquiring volunteers from high school and the word got around. And then when we opened, I said, okay, now we're ready to open to the public. And when we opened to the public, and that's when TripAdvisor came into the picture, and it bloomed. Like, it grew so much that we were known all over abroad. People would come from Brazil, people come from Africa, from Colombia, from all over to come and see us. And when I would see that the smiles on the children's faces and people, I knew that what I did was something right and something special.
Through her own trials, Maria forged a philosophy for women to rebuild their lives and reclaim their power.
I would say stay focused, try hard, challenge yourself, be determined, set goals, if it's short, long terms. Reevaluate yourself every day, your expectations, where do you want to be, daily routines, daily goals, set limits. Have 10 to 15 minutes a day for yourself to recap, and always keep growing, always keep learning, and be the best version of yourself. You have to learn how to say no. And by saying no doesn't mean that you're selfish. By saying no is that you're putting limits. What am I going to allow? What I'm not going to allow, what I'm going to accept, what I'm not going to accept. By saying no is loving yourself. Because at the end of the day, you got to love yourself and you got to feel good with who you are in order for other people to love you and respect you. And if you don't love and respect yourself, nobody will do it for you. I would define power as the woman that have gone through challenges and that she has this torch in her hand and she made it. She did it because she proved to herself and to the world that she was capable of doing it. She was capable of doing it herself, nobody else but herself.
Now, Maria is focused on expanding her impact, creating safe havens, and leaving a legacy of empowerment for future generations.
I felt like I was a bird in a cage when I gained so much weight while building my first business that I lost myself in that. In between the marriage, the business, I was overwhelmed. I looked older. The moment I got separated, I went back 10 years. I felt free and I was like a bird in a cage that had escaped. And there was no way that you can get that bird and put it back in that cage. She was long gone. So I started spreading my wings. It was like a butterfly, from a cocoon and opening up and branding herself and building herself.
Hola, mi nombre es Dan. Estoy aquí para compartirles un poco de lo que ha sido mi experiencia luego de un divorcio con la coach María, quien ha sido para mí un apoyo incondicional durante este tiempo. Hace poco más de un año que la conocí por redes sociales y de verdad que ha sido maravilloso todo, la experiencia durante este proceso, porque no ha sido solamente la metodología que ella usa, sino es la calidad de ser humano, es el acompañamiento, es esa mano amiga, es el apoyo, es la palabra de ánimo. y de verdad que ha sido maravillosa esta experiencia. Ha sido un proceso difícil, pero bastante superable con una persona como María. De verdad que la admiro muchísimo y estoy feliz de lo que he logrado.
This book is my second book, actually. It's a work of reconstructing yourself, basically. And there's a lot of phrases from this book to help women and encourage women in rebuilding yourself, giving you motivational words, motivational sentences to keep you going, to uplift you, to make you stronger. This is like a guide from the novel that I made. And the picture is coming from broken. It's a beautiful picture, but I decided to have two faces, the broken part of Maria and the new part of Maria. It's rebuilding yourself, is what I want to tell everybody. You can rebuild yourself from something that's damaged or broken, and you become the best version of yourself. It's in Spanish, because they're doing the English reverse. Says, where the love is broken, something blooms. This is the other part of my business that I want to grow, the editorial portion of it, where I can write books and we can have a book club and we can showcase stories, and then other people that written stories, we can write the stories for them. We created this magazine because this magazine talks about women that actually have faced a lot of challenges, but at the end of the day, they rebuilt themselves and they are empowered today. They're entrepreneurs, they're business women. There's women that thought that they couldn't overcome whatever crisis they had in their life, but believing in themselves, restructuring themselves, rewriting their own stories again, they are empowered, they are who they are. And in here we talk about my book. Right here is my first book. This first edition talks about my coaching classes here. It talks about the team that I have that actually played an important part in making this production, making this first edition. And in here it talks about the different women that want to share our stories with us. You know, it has positive affirmations. It has women that gone through divorces and are telling their story. In this case, it's transforming your divorce into a new beginning, because we all have a new beginning. It talks about being healthy, talks about wellness. I decided to make an editorial. Back in the days, they had, a newspaper, they had an editorial about women asking for advice. So then my writer, I decided, why don't we do a section in the story where women talk about love. It's called With Love. So basically, women want to, like Dear Abby, basically. So if women want to ask questions about love, we have it where you send your questions and we answer them for you. And we'll give you the stepping stones to it. This first edition was a lot about women and about me speaking out. And then in the back, eventually we're gonna have more. We want to collaborate with people that would like to actually put their advertisement in the magazine. We'll have fashion, we'll have wellness, and we'll have a list of areas where if you need help or advice, it will be here in the magazine. If you need a coach, if you need a divorce attorney, if you need someone in financial, if you need someone, you want to purchase a home, a financial advisor, we'll have a section where we can have women, all this for women that need help. Eventually, in my second edition, I want to also bring men. Because I don't want to help women only, we want to help men. Because there's a lot of men out there that are lost and need help. So eventually, this section, we'll have a section for men, and the section for men will be businessmen, will be entrepreneurs, and will be also fashion, a section for men in fashion. So we want to bring it all. We want to, and the idea is that a lot of collaborators will see a magazine, fall in love, and will want to be part of it. Well, like I say, I love fashions, and I am very creative. So I decided, very laid back, so I said, what can I do different that women will feel comfortable and will kind of feel empowered and they can wear it? And I said, well, I can do cups, because we like to drink coffee, we like to drink tea. When we're talking on the phone, we're watching TV or working. And I say, these are essentials that people are gonna wear and they're gonna remember me by remembering this product. And also because of Queen in the Jungle. I am a queen in my own jungle. Why can't I create like a beautiful cap that says Queen? And then the sandals. You feel it, you lift it, and you wear it, and you're showcasing it, and you're sure about it every day, This is who I am, I'm a queen. But then it wasn't enough, because it's never enough for Maria. Maria was always thinking of what else can she do. So then I decided that not only one cap with Queen. So I decided, okay, if only Queen won't do it, what other brands can I do? So then I decided I have a jungle. So why not showcase a cap with some of our animals and then have sandals with our animals? It's like I'm living it, I'm breathing it every day, and and this is my life. So I wanted to share that with the world, so I decided to bring this product out. I have this one and I have another one that have flamingos, which we have flamingos. All these animals that are here are part of our jungle.
Working with Maria has been an incredible and enriching experience. Even though we are in different parts of the world, we've always managed to connect and build a strong teamwork foundation filled with purpose. What I admire most about her is her clear vision, the passion she brings to every idea, and the trust she places in those around her. With Maria, it's never just about writing words, it's about giving life to messages that inspires and transform. She has the ability to guide with respect and empathy, making you feel part of something greater. I'm grateful to grow alongside her and to witness the impact she has on so many people.
I'm ready to expand my coaching services to do webinars, seminars, summits, wellness retreat. Eventually, I want to change the concept of zoological wildlife foundation. I want to change the concept to an eco-friendly, where it's going to be a place, a safe haven for women that are going through domestic violence and they need a place, or you want to escape from the craziness that we're living today. I want to build a retreat where if you need to get away, it's going to be here in South Florida. I want to be the best version of themselves. I want to be a fun mother, a friend, a fun grandma. I want to be someone that they feel comfortable, that they can come and talk to, someone that they are proud of, and show them that with love, dedication, and power, and being in control, and being secure and being confident, I want to show them, because I know living that legacy will guide them and help them to be the best version of themselves. Seeing their grandma, seeing their mother being successful, seeing their mother standing up for herself, having a career, being independent, being the best version, being the woman who she is, I know that that's my legacy that I'm going to leave for them. And I know they're going to be good. And I know they're going to inspire the women and the children that they will have in the future. I am Maria Tabraue, and I am a woman in power.